Dog ownership is a wonderful thing, and we all know the many ways that dogs can enrich our lives. Sometimes, though, a tragedy can occur when a dog harms someone, and then the local community will pressure lawmakers to do something to make sure this never happens again. Unfortunately, many lawmakers see breed-specific laws as the solution. We're going to talk about what breed-specific legislation is, some of the current laws, and why targeting specific breeds isn't the solution. Finally, we will discuss some better solutions that are more effective in protecting communities and innocent dog owners and their pets. So what exactly is breed-specific legislation? Breed-specific legislation, or BSL, is any proposal that would ban or restrict ownership of specific breeds or types of dogs, regardless of whether that dog is actually a problem. BSL proposals can take a number of different forms, including outright bans on the ownership of specific dogs or mandatory sterilization of specific breeds. Owners may also be required to purchase expensive liability insurance or other policies, more expensive dog licenses, or comply with a host of other requirements. These are all solely based on a dog's breed or appearance, rather than anything the dog or owner actually did wrong. As you can see here, 17 states have recognized the inherent problems with BSL and passed laws to specifically prohibit breed-specific laws and regulations. This number has increased significantly over the past few years, and each year we see more states considering similar laws. California does not allow ownership bans, but it does allow for mandatory sterilization of specific breeds. Ohio declared certain breeds as vicious, which led to widespread BSL in local Ohio municipalities. After the repeal of the statewide law in 2012, many Ohio cities and towns followed suit and repealed their local breed-specific policies. The AKC strongly supported the state repeal of this breed-specific law and, along with local clubs, have worked with many local Ohio governments to assist them in developing more effective policies. Some military bases also have breed-specific policies, and the AKC is working with military officials to develop more effective rules. So what is it that Ohio and the 17 states we just discussed have realized about BSL? Why isn't it a good solution? First of all, it ignores the issue of responsible dog ownership. It punishes innocent owners and their dogs simply because of the dog's appearance, and ignores those owners who do not keep their pets in a responsible manner. These laws are also very difficult to enforce, as they force animal control and law enforcement to essentially become breed identification experts and determine whether a dog's appearance makes it subject to the law. These laws are also very expensive for local communities, as many dogs end up in shelters when the owners are unable to comply with the breed-specific laws. Let's take a look at a few examples of places that have enacted BSL. The Netherlands had nationwide breed-specific policies in place for 15 years, but overturned these laws in 2008 when studies revealed it was ineffective in reducing dog bites. Italy began its BSL policies by restricting ownership of 13 breeds, but continued to expand the list when incidents occurred. The list grew to over 90 breeds, including Corgis, St. Bernards, Newfoundlands, and Border Collies, before the law was finally overturned in 2009. Wichita, Kansas is one example of many communities where instead of breeds, dogs must just meet a handful of physical characteristics to be considered a pit bull. This includes almond-shaped eyes, a tail that tapers at the end, or a broad chest. In laws such as this one, a dog must only meet a few of the characteristics on the list in order to be subject to breed-specific laws. This means that a broad variety of dogs could be restricted. In 2013, the Maryland General Assembly overturned a breed-specific court ruling that caused many problems in the state. Let's take a close look at what happened. In April 2012, A court in Maryland ruled that all dogs deemed to be pit bulls are inherently dangerous and that landlords should be held liable for any incident regarding a pit bull that occurs on their property. In August, it got even more confusing when a Court of Appeals ruling stated that this only applied to purebred pit bulls and not to mixed breeds. This is particularly problematic as the AKC doesn't recognize a breed known as a pit bull. After the ruling, many dogs were automatically ruled as dangerous based solely on their appearance. Owners of these dogs had to comply with a number of new requirements, and many landlords decided to ban tenants from keeping any dogs on their property in order to make sure they wouldn't be held liable. These restrictions naturally resulted in increased shelter populations, as owners unable to comply with these requirements had to give up their dogs. Finally, in April 2014, the Maryland General Assembly passed House Bill 17, which was supported by the AKC, and overturned the court ruling in its entirety. It's very clear that breed-specific laws don't work. So what is the solution? The American Kennel Club believes it starts with public education about responsible dog ownership. Take a look at this study, which incorporated a number of dogs of different ages, breeds, and temperaments. The study found that the amount of time the owner spent properly caring for and training the dog was the biggest influence over the dog's behavior. Instead of focusing on specific breeds, the AKC believes laws should focus on specific actions. There should be a fair process by which individual dogs are identified as dangerous and appropriate penalties are imposed on irresponsible owners. Finally, there should be a well-defined method for dogs whose actions have proven that they are actually dangerous. The AKC is not alone in this position. As you can see, the American Veterinary Medical Association supports dangerous animal legislation, provided that legislation doesn't refer to specific breeds or classes of animals. Here is just a small list of organizations that agree that breed-specific legislation isn't the answer. When you hear of a breed-specific proposal, consider contacting these groups and forming a coalition to help you fight the proposal and develop better solutions. If you are interested in helping fight breed-specific legislation, the AKC is here to help you. Feel free to contact the AKC Government Relations Department or visit our website to see all the resources, talking points, and other materials we have available on this issue. We look forward to working with you to help promote responsible ownership of all dogs in your community.